on the Skittles activity, we're going to go over part of it because I'm going to call out Cooper because he's sitting right here in the front row. He has answers and no work. When I grade these, we're getting very, like tomorrow and the next day, we're going to be doing a lot of problems like the ones over on the right side. If you have no work or if you just have a multiplication problem, you're not getting full credit. If you have all of the work and you don't have an answer, you're not getting full credit. So I'm going to spend time today going over something you have already completed that you have said is quote unquote done. Okay, so you are going to fix yours and add to it as we go. Okay, we're going to look on the right side, and all of the bags were different, so your answers won't match mine perfectly. You're going to have to kind of do your own math, but I'm going to show you how you should have it set up. So most of the bags had 20. That's what they were all supposed to have, but I had Lainey count them before school one day, and some of them had 21. So this one, it's over on the right side, the top one on the right side. Check yours. I'm going to have you add, probably add to what you have to show you the proper way or the best way to show it. Suppose you had 4 bags of Skittles exactly like yours. How many orange Skittles would there be in order for you to keep the same ratio? How many total Skittles would there be? Show your work and explanation. Anytime you're doing ratio problems, you have to figure out the 2 important pieces for that question. In this one, it talks about orange Skittles. What else is the other important one? Total. So on your paper, if you don't already have it somewhere, I want you to write orange over total. Or if you already have like O over T, that's fine. If you have it, it's fine. If you don't, I want you to go ahead and write it because that's what you should have had focused on. Then you start with what you know about orange and total. Each of yours was different. Who had a total of 20? Nolan? What was your total? Well, you had 20 total. How many of them were orange? 4. Okay, so for here, your first ratio would be the number of orange that you had over 20 or 21. Were there some groups in here that had 21 in their bag? No. You guys did all have 20? Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. Okay, so you're doing your orange to total ratio. Then it always has to give me a third piece of information, okay, or another number to work with. What's the other number it's asking about or telling me about, Jack? It tells me I have 4 bags, so it doesn't tell me orange, it doesn't tell me yellow. It says I have 4 bags exactly like that one. So what is it giving me? What is it giving me? Cooper?
You need the multiplier.
Yeah, it's giving me the multiplier. It's telling me I have to multiply both of these by 4. So show this and then do your math. 4 times 4 is 16. 20 times 4 is 80. Now, if you gave me 16 80ths as an answer, that is wrong. Because it doesn't ask me for a fraction, it asks me how many are orange. How many are orange? 16. How many are there total? 80. Okay, and usually there's not labels out to the side for you just to fill in. You would have to write 16 orange Skittles and 80 total Skittles. So everyone in here had a total of 20? Okay, so we're good on the next one. The next one says, suppose you had a bag that contained 100 Skittles. How many red Skittles would it need to have in order for you to have the same ratio of that color? Show your work and explain your reasoning. So we have to find our 2 things we're focusing on. What are my 2 focuses in this problem? Why is it red and total? Because it says red. Yeah, because it's the bag has 100, contained 100, which means it's a total. So this one we should have had red over total somewhere, or R over T. Cooper, what was your red to total ratio?
5 to 20.
5 to 20. So your guys's won't be exactly the same, but your total would all be 20. They have to give us one extra piece of information. Naomi, in this one, what's our extra piece of information?
If the bag contained 100.
Yeah, 100 Skittles. I just have to decide how that helps me. How can that help me?
Figure out what times what equals 100.
Yeah, so it's not a multiplier. It's not saying I have multiple bags of the same thing. It's giving, and so it either has to give me red or total, and that one gives me a total. So my setup should look like that. So I'm looking for that number. I'm looking for a number of red, and the question says how many red Skittles. So that's one way you can check and see if you're lined up properly. Naomi said I have to figure out 20 times what equals 100? Dane?
5.
Times 5. So regardless of what your numerator was, or your number of red, you would multiply it by 5. Jalen, what's 5 times 5? 25. Now, common wrong answers. People give me, leave it. They don't give me an answer. You have all of the right work and no answer. Bryce, what is my answer?
There's 25 total red Skittles.
Yeah, so 25 red Skittles. I want you guys to look at your work and answer for the third one and see if you still agree with it or if you could add to your work. Try your third one. It's different than the first two. Each of these is a little bit different. What makes this one harder? Harper?
It gives you 8 to 3 and then 22. You have to figure out what the total of
Yeah, so it gives me the ratio of yellow to purple. Okay, so a lot of people probably started out like this. Yellow to purple is 8 to 3. But then it has to give me a third piece of information, and this one says there are 22 Skittles in a bag, which means it's a total, and it's asking me about yellow Skittles. So I need a yellow to total ratio. How many yellows do I have? 8 out of how many?
22.
No.
Wait, no, 3.
No.
11.
11. Why 11?
Because 22 divided by 2.
Because the total of the ratio that it gives me, I could put another one here, to total. 8 plus 3 is 11. So my yellow to total ratio is 8 to 11. I'm trying to build that 11 up to what? 22. Okay, again, all three of these problems were a little bit different. It gave me batches, it gave me a ratio, part to total, and this one gave me part to part and asked me about part to whole or part to total. How do we get from 11 to 22? Times 2. What's 8 times 2? 16. What is my answer? 16 yellow Skittles. Everybody should have had that one. What? You can make tables. Yep, that would have worked too. Some people drew diagrams. That would have worked too. Okay. Questions on any of these ones? Because this is where we're going. Not the basic ratios. We did the back together, so everybody should have had that. Did we do the last one on the back?
Yeah, we did all 30.
Okay. Okay, put that away.